Hey everybody, my name is BlakJak and welcome to my new Let's Play, Pimp My Ride, for the PS2. Alright, who's about to get pimped? Man, alright, so a quick story before the game truly begins. I was dicking around in my local mom and pop shop video game store when I out of the corner of my eye saw this pink box PSP game called Pimp My Ride, and I was like, yo, this is hilarious. Also, if you hear a buzzing, I apologize. That was on me. I recorded this whole Let's Play with a loose audio jack, so I apologize. Wow, that is really loud. And I lowered it. Here, let me see if I can lower it again. There we go. So, I found it. And I showed it to the cashier. His name is Calvin. And Calvin is great. Calvin's not watching this, but if he is, Calvin, you're awesome.
You see this?
But he goes, we got a lot of these games, like all the time. And I'm like, your dad asked? He's like, yeah, we probably have the PS2 somewhere. And I was like, all right, bet. Hold on, give me 1 minute. So I ran back, saw it was in PS2, and I just had to pick it up. And it cost me like maybe $5, I think. Here, let me go grab it real quick while you guys watch this intro cuts in.
And see if you could turn this automotively challenged city around and whip the people of Pimp City's rides into shape. And yeah, you're gonna have competition, trust me. There's always someone who thinks they can do it better than you.
Alright, so I got it for $5. And it was a good $5 well spent.
Remember, your mission is to make your customers happy. If you can do that, you have a long career here at Pimp City. So come on.
So this game came out in like 2006, I think, right? We're gonna check this from the back of the box. I think the sticker's covering it up, but I think this game came out in 2006. Jesus Christ. This game's actually, yeah, 2006. So yeah, this game actually, Pimp My Ride. Pimp My Ride. So if you couldn't tell, oops, you dropping shit all over the place. If you couldn't tell, this is a video game based off of a very popular TV show. I'm not sure if it's in, I'm going to speed this up because it took me a while to type out my name. I don't know if it's popular outside of the US. I'm actually not sure, but it was really popular back in the mid-2000s. Basically, it was a show in which this guy, Exhibit, who, if I'm not mistaken, the back of the box says that all the music in this game is from his album, Exhibit's album, Full Circle. So, but before I get into that, here are the controls. So you have X and square to move forward and back and brake. You have circle, which is your action button, and then you can look left and right with the R2, L2 buttons, and rear view with L1. And then you have cruise control while holding R1, and you have the nitro button by pressing R1. You can steer with only the left analog stick, select as your map, pausing as start, and you can also drive forward and backwards with the right analog stick. I actually recommend driving with the analog sticks, like left-right analog stick for moving, and driving is up-down on the right analog stick. For me, that was what worked out best. I'm going to lower the music just so that I limit getting copyright.
Start your engines. Start your engines.
I'm still probably going to get copyrighted. But yeah, anyway. This game is actually kind of fun, but I recommend playing this game in like small dosages. I don't recommend sitting down for 8 hours like I did and play through this 16 level video game. It is really repetitive, so this is going to be the longest video in the series. And to compensate for the low minutes of the other ones, I think they don't go over like 20 minutes. I think they're all like 15. I'll be uploading 2 videos a day. Starting today. And we're gonna begin Pimp My Ride.
All right, listen. The people of Pimp City love their rides. It's what they live for. A tight whip can mean the difference between being a real player or a straight up loser in this city. So that's what you're here for. You gotta improve the lives of a few lucky people by pimping their rides.
So yeah, we're gonna have the choice between two characters at the moment. We have Marcia and Andrea. I'm gonna start with Andrea because my first playthrough, like me starting the game for the first time, like making sure how it plays and stuff, I did Marcia.
Speaking of rides, I know you don't have one yet. As you pimp rides, you'll earn a garage of whips to drive. But for now, I'll loan you mine. Yeah, I'm a nice guy like that. So let's get into it.
See, yeah. This is how long most of the loading screens are. They're about 30 seconds in terms of length. I cut them out almost entirely in this game just to make it flow faster.
All right, this is your navigation system. It'll help you get around Pimp City and show places of interest as you find them. It's also how you choose who you're going to help and where you want to go.
So yeah, in every level, in all 15 levels, other than the last level, you have a raise money part in which exhibit, you're talking over me, that is super rude. You're a butthole exhibit. That's so funny. When you're driving, they play this animation. You're gonna see it later. But when you're driving, the pedestrians play this animation where they're running away from you until they hit a wall and they like lean up against it. But they do it according to how fast you're going. So if you're going super fast, they like zip from point A to point B. But when you're going slow, they actually play the animation. So I think you're gonna see that eventually, very soon. But yeah, let me go back a few minutes. When I was saying that, like, I picked it up from my local mom and pop shop. This game's actually really fun, and Calvin was like, "Yeah, it's a really bad game," and I was like, "Amazing! I need to play it." Oh, here's the animations that I was saying. I'm gonna slow down eventually. There's a lot to talk about in this one video, but here, like, when you slow down, they actually begin to play the animation, and when you're going super slow, let's see, if you're going super slow, they actually start to run. So it's really funny how they did that. But yeah, so in every level, you have to make a certain amount of money. That's your budget. It goes from like 5,000 to like, I think it was like 2,100 or something like that, 21,000. I don't remember. And there's a bunch of collectibles.
We're good to go.
There are.
Just follow the prompts and you reach your destination.
Brain fart. Hold on. Okay, so there are 5 cash tokens, which are the white dots on the minimap and on the map itself. And collecting those gets you a small cash bonus. These guys are hidden suppliers. They're throughout every level, and you'll find them. All you gotta do is hold R1 from a small distance away, slowly creep up to them, and then press circle into honk. I didn't know how to do that at this point, but I figured it out eventually. Those guys are hidden suppliers. They don't do anything from what I can understand. At least the booklet doesn't mention they do anything. They're just hidden things you can find. Also, in each level, there are a certain amount of signs you can break. Breaking all those signs gets you money bonus. And if you destroy any meters along the way, you get money for each meter, and you pick up a bonus if you destroy them all. That's all that it does. Picking up all the blue navigational tokens allows you to unlock things on the minimap, such as it expands the view of it, and it also unlocks the moving supplier when you find them. So this is the Hot Stepper minigame. This is one of 2 minigame types that are the Ghost Ride the Whip minigames, and this is what is heavily promoted on the back of the box especially. So I fail it. I didn't get a perfect on it, so I'm just going to show you the perfect run, which is why it's going to tell me that I did 2 of the 3 objectives. So what you got to do is just press circle when it's in the yellow, like the most yellow part in the middle, and you do a little dance in which you Ghost Ride the Whip. And there are 2 mini games, and they don't really change very much. I mean, I guess they do change it. The other one adds direction input using the left analog stick, but that's about it. And then there's like one more minigame type for the raising money. But yeah, so I found this game at the local bomb pop shop. I picked it up, and Calvin was like, "This is like a really bad game," and I was like, "Bet, I'm gonna play it now." And I played it for a total of 5 minutes and loved it. This game is really dumb, and it's kind of fun. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. I would actually genuinely recommend this game. It's not a good game, but it's kind of a fun game. If you play it for like maybe half an hour at a time, you know. Don't do what I did and sit down for 8 hours. You'll drive yourself nuts. There's like 16 levels, and it's really annoying. Another thing about this game that I dislike is the controls. Turning is very delayed, so like when you see me turning, just know that I hit the analog stick like a good second or two before turning, which is why I miss things like that, because to me I hit the analog stick when I think I should, and I end up crashing into the walls and stuff. But this game kind of plays like Crazy Taxi. And you'll see what I mean when we get to the part that I'm going to be showing out throughout the entire playthrough. I'm going to actually cut every building the money phases of every other level, because this is like 20 minutes of the same thing, just repeatedly. Not that it's not any different in the other one, but at least the other one I'm timed, and there's a sense of urgency to it that makes it fun, which is where the Crazy Taxi element comes in. But we'll get there when we get there. So I mentioned the whites are the cash tokens, and the blue dots are the GPS coordinates. Collecting all those allows you to find the moving suppliers and expanding the GPS. That's all it does. Really useful. That's all it does. I mentioned that there's one minigame type that goes around the whip, and oh no, I said there's two. Sorry, there's two minigame types. There's Ghost Ride the Whip and there's Hot Stepper, and they're both Ghost Riding the Whip minigames, but they play slightly differently. One's a Simon Says type minigame where, oh yeah, here's where I was showing off the delayed driving, or steering rather. So one's Hot Stepper, the other one's Ghost Ride. So Ghost Ride is like Simon Says, but instead of it showing you like a red, blue, yellow, green pattern, it shows you the button inputs that you gotta press, and you gotta press them in order. And the faster you do it, the more points you get. And if you get a perfect, you get the most money. There's also the red dots on the minimap, which are these things called cruise controls. And the cruise controls, what you do is you hold R1 and you keep holding down R1 to go into cruise control, and you slow down to about like 10 miles an hour. And then, much like the Ghost Ride the Whip minigame, you push a sequence of buttons in a particular order as fast as you can, because you're timed, in order to honk your vehicle at the people watching you on the sidelines. And that's the other way of getting money. Those are the only two types of minigames: cruise control and the Ghost Ride the Whip minigames. And that's it in the building money phase. And as you can tell, just having those two types of minigames, and if I'm going to be technical, 3 types of minigames: the 2 Ghost Ride the Whips, that being Ghost Ride the Whip and Hot Stepper, and then the cruise control, makes this for a very repetitive experience. I know I'm like already going into review mode, but like I just kind of have to get that out of the way, because if you're going to see this video and see that it's like a 30-minute video, and the other videos are like I think shortest video is like 10 minutes, longest video is like maybe 17, 18 minutes, I think. You're gonna be like, oh, where's the rest of the game? It's just to let you guys know that this is super repetitive. So for this minigame, you have to hold down the R1 button. I think my R button was just bugging out for some reason, or maybe I just wasn't doing it right. I'm not entirely sure. But every time you don't do it, you have to go a certain distance away from it just to roll up again. And if you don't do it the right way, you will automatically just fail this mission. Like, I think I let go of the button right here, and that's what failed me. So you have to keep holding down the R1 button while getting ready for the button presses. Also, sometimes it just fails randomly. I don't know if that's my controller. I don't know if that's the game. I have no idea. But yeah, so you have to go a certain amount of distance away, like I was saying, just so that you can do this. And the only difference from the cruise control minigames with the later levels is that you just have to press more buttons. I think it's like 7 or 8 buttons. And that's honestly it. I pretty much just told you everything you can do in the money phase thing. It's destroy signs, destroy meters, collect cash tokens, collect navigational things, find the hidden supplier, and then the 3 minigames. That's literally all there is to it. And you don't even have to destroy anything. You get more than enough money just by crashing into cars and doing the 3 minigames and getting a perfect on them, which it's not hard to do. I think I only really had a hard time with was the Ghost Ride the Whip mission, in which you have to like push all the buttons in the right order, not the press circle at the right time. I didn't really have a hard time with that one. I think maybe I did once, but maybe twice. That's about it. I also missed a turn right here, so you're gonna see me like, wait, what? And not understand what I missed. But yeah. Oh wait, no, I think I was going for the cash. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. Sometimes, for whatever reason, I guess it's if you're going fast and you take a turn or something. I'm not entirely sure. Sometimes you just start to fishtail, and you lose control of the car, and that gets really annoying when you're timed. P-I-M-P. I unironically really like this game for some reason. I don't know why. I just kind of wish the collecting money wasn't such a prevalent thing in this game. It would be much more enjoyable if I could just... Whoa! Hostile, friend. If you could just do the second part of each level instead of collecting all the money. Because I love how the car is indestructible. Like, every car in the game is indestructible. You can crash into as many cars, into as many walls. It doesn't matter. Your car will never blow up. You have no health. It's just really fun. I kind of wish that this game had better music. Not that I don't like Exhibit's music's or album in this game, or like the tracks in this game. I like Crazy Taxi, and that soundtrack is hype. It's hype as fuck. Like, it keeps me coming back to that game, like with the addicting gameplay and the Offspring soundtrack with Bad Religion. Some songs of Bad Religion, like that soundtrack is fucking hype, and it's like super high energy. And this game has more of a like low energy feel to it. So I feel like if it had like a higher energy soundtrack to it, I'd have much more fun with it. But yeah, that's pretty much everything that there is to say about the first part of this game, or first part of every level rather, the collecting money aspect to it. It seems to drag on in like the first 2 or 3 levels. Like, I think Hari, his level, which is like the 3rd level that I did, kind of also dragged on for me too. But like, once you start getting to like the thousands and stuff, all the minigames give you like 3,000 per achievement, and you just start making your money really quickly. So it's not too bad. Even though here it's not so bad either, because each minigame gives you like, each achievement for each minigame gives you like, I think it was like 500 or something, or however much it is per achievement, so it's not too bad. But yeah, so I'm gonna be an idiot and drive all the way over to Hot Stepper, realize that I did the wrong thing, did it, and then was like, oh, I meant Ghost Ride the Whip. So I'm just gonna speed on over to Ghost Ride the Whip, because it's already getting super long, and we're not even halfway done with the level. So just oh, super speed. Also, in the other part, well, actually, we'll get there. We'll get there later. But you get nitrous in the. Oh yeah, so you get like 860 or like whatever. You get like 500. Oh, right there. I edited in the clip in which I did it. Masterful cut. Yeah. So I'm not very good at these, mostly because I was expecting another synchronize button. So I was looking at the bottom of the screen instead of the right hand side, like you're supposed to. So when I realized that I was supposed to look to the right, it was already too late. I got a dope and I didn't get the. It's called Pimpin' as the perfect thing. So I ended up just failing it. And not failing it, but like, because you never actually fail, you just continue and you could redo it. So that's what I ended up doing, was just redoing it. I just hit retry. And then this is the outcome. You do it fast enough, you get pimpin', you get 12 pimpins, you get a perfect, and you collect all the money that you're able to collect. I also love how ridiculous the motions are in this game. I think they used motion capture for this because I was reading the booklet, the manual, and I was looking through because it has the credits on it, and it mentioned a mocap team, and I was like, oh, I guess they did use motion capture. So once you collect enough money, you're going to be able to look at your GPS, and it immediately.
Last time somebody tried to do that, this rival shop across town took to pimping out near identical rides and offering them to customers in place of their old rides. So come on, let's go meet the first customer.
Yep. So yeah, so you just immediately start a countdown to making it to your customer's location. During this time, you can drive to any other remaining minigame that you haven't done, or collect anything, or destroy as much as you want, or crash into any car that you feel necessary to crash into. Do whatever you want for 2 minutes, or you could just drive straight into the customer location and start the mission, or you can let the time run out and start it that way too. That's all that happens when time runs out, is that you just automatically begin the mission. So we're gonna meet Andrea, who is the first customer, and I hope you guys enjoy the cutscenes.
Oh man, another one. This drop top looks like it's about to drop dead. Man, this job is getting too dangerous. Andrea, I'm here to pimp your ride.
I know! So this is my Ride X. The car salesman told me it was a modern classic.
Andrea, that's what they say to you when the car they trying to sell you is a classic piece of junk. You know? Now, what's up with this hubcap? It's basically falling off. Why not just take it all the way off?
Well, I've got 2 wheels with hubcaps and 2 without.
Oh, I get it. You're trying to keep some continuity. Good idea. So, I hear you work at a radio station, but how can your radio be this bad?
Actually, that's new. I put that in myself.
Yeah, I can definitely tell.
I'm a DJ for a radio station, so my schedule is kinda hectic.
Now that word really kinda sums it all up. Okay, Andrea, I think I get the picture. Let me get those keys from you.
All right, so we're gonna start off the Pimp My Ride part, the customization. So these purple dots are nitruses. You can pick them up and have nitrous in your car and press R1 to use it, and you have nitro. So the object of this part of the game is to drive around to each location and fix the issues that the car has.
So you gotta get this ride looking sick, and that means meeting up with suppliers. You see suppliers all over Pimp City, but it's up to you to find them. Come on, it's time
so
to
for instance, she needs.
and remember, you're working on the budget, and you only got so long to
this is so hard to talk while
so
X is
don't waste
talking.
no time.
So you have to like work on the issues that her car has. For instance, like she needs a new radio, tires, and then like a new paint job. And that's your job, is to make sure you get those areas taken care of to make the most possible points. And then you got a mini game that doesn't change for anything. It's always the same mini game type. So for spraying, it's press 2 buttons simultaneously. It'll change per level, but that's the same mission or mini game that you'll get. for every time you go spray. For instance, getting new tires is rotate the analog stick until it's over. Every time you beat a mission or minigame in a rather fast motion, or time limit rather, you reduce the price of the cost of whatever it is that you purchased for the customization, and you gain a few valuable seconds on your 2-minute counter. You have 2 minutes for every level to customize the car, and you get time every time you beat a minigame, and time stops if anything were to go over the clock. For instance, if you get an exhibit challenge, which is something that'll pop up. I don't know if it pops up in this level or if it happens in the next episode. I don't remember. So that stops the clock every time a rival tries to take you out, which happens. I never noticed it happening. Sometimes the bars will change that say like damage, and 2 bars appear. I never noticed what that does, but we'll talk about it when I see it happen. Before I continue, that red star is a moving vendor, a moving supplier, and that appears on my mini-map and on the map when you collect all the navigational tokens. So I was running out of time. You have to be quick in this game. And this is where the fun really comes in, even though like the controls are kind of bad. I've had like much more tight controls, like better steering controls rather. Oh yeah, here's the minigame I was saying. Look, you just rotate the analog stick until it's over. This game would be really fun. This game actually is pretty fun because you can still crash through everything and not have to worry about damaging your car, and the time limit's really unforgiving, and it's kind of fun to try to make it to everything. But and just destroying cars is hilarious because sometimes you can ram into them going super fast and they just start to fly. It's pretty fun. It's a really fun game. My only issue is that since you're and I know I'm going to say this in the review because I've been thinking about this a lot for this review, or for this game rather. But since you're forced to customize a car against another rival, customizing the car in any which way you want kind of gets not as fun as it should be, because it kind of forces you into purchasing the most rare items, the most expensive things, and then if you do all the mini games, you have enough money to just buy all the most expensive stuff and beat the level, instead of just picking, oh, I think this would be cool, oh, this looks cool, or whatever. Or like, you know, like, oh, cool, radio, oh, but this one has a TV with it, you know, like, instead it's just like, oh, this is the most expensive item, sure, oh, this is the most expensive item, sure, and then that's it. That mini game is just press the buttons, that's it. Like, it's not complicated or anything. I forget what ICE is. I think ICE's radio is like the stereo system, if I'm not mistaken. But you can customize like the interior, the body of the car, tires, radio. There are custom parts to put in for people. So like Andrea likes music, so you would give her like a radio or something. One was like a fashion person, so you'd give him like a coat rack.
Andrea, your bruiser was black and blue when we picked it up, but no longer. Take a look at your new ride.
Ah! Oh my God! Ah!
Come on, let's take a closer look. Now, you know the Bruiser's designed to go fast, right? So you need rims that reflect that. Say 17-inch Pro Race carbon fiber ones.
What? That is so tight.
Check the paintwork, Andrea. That's a special pearlescent paint.
Okay, this I like.
But the other guy hit you up with this.
But the other guy.
Alright, so I know you do a lot of radio work in the field, so check this out. We hit you up with a headset with an MP3 recorder, library, and audio cued stings.
Oh, that rocks. That is so cool.
So there you go, Andrea. You've seen both rides. It's decision time.
It better be me. Hey,
Okay,
that's right.
this I like.
But there's one more thing.
You've officially been
Sweet
pimped.
work.
All right, that's my closing every time now. I'm just gonna say you've officially been pimped, and that's it. So at the end of every level, it shows you how much you've beat or lost to the opponent by increasing the bars, and the bars increase by the cost of the parts and how rare they are. That's all it is. Exhibit is the exhibit challenges. You get 3 of them per level. Anyway, guys, you've all just been pimped.